Hello, class. Welcome to Emili's first lesson of ratios and proportions.
What is a ratio? A ratio of two quantities is a comparison, often expressed as a fraction. There are three ways in which one can write a ratio: 1-to-1, 1/1, or 1-to-1.
Proportions. A proportion is an equation that states two ratios are equal. And now, here are some examples. A ratio equals another ratio, that is a proportion. X over 2 equals 4/8. Another ratio equals another ratio. 1/3 equals 3/9.
Jake Hines goes to the store and plans to buy some protein powder for his future workouts. He is about to buy 500 grams of protein for $75, but he is tempted to buy 1,000 grams of protein for $115. Using proportions, which deal is better for Jake?
So we have this guy, his name is Jake Hines. He is huge, and he needs his protein powder. I mean, he's big. So, I don't know what's going on.
So here's the math behind how to find a better deal. So Hines wants to get 500 grams, which is $75. Or does he want to get 1,000 grams for $115? Well, if Hines would have known that all he has to do is divide 500 by 75, he would know that that is 6.66 grams per dollar. Whereas for the 1,000 grams, he divides 1,000 by 115 to get 8.69 grams per dollar. So clearly, it is in Jake's best interest to get the 1,000 grams of protein powder.
A Prius can travel 400 miles on 8 gallons of gasoline. How far can this Prius travel on 29 gallons of gasoline?
So if you can remember, a Prius can travel 400 miles on 8 gallons of gas. How far do you think a Prius can travel on 29 gallons of gas? Well, I'm going to show you how. So, take the 400 miles, divide that by 8 gallons, and you set that equal to X over the 29 gallons that you know you have. So, if you know that 400 times 29 equals 11,600, and you set that equal to 8x. So, when you divide 11,600 over 8, that gets you x equals 1,450 miles. So, that is how far a Prius can travel on 29 gallons of gas.
On a map, 1 centimeter represents 7 miles. There are 35 centimeters between Yamville and Ashley Island. What is the actual distance between these two cities?
Okay, so this is the map application for proportion. So on a map, 1 centimeter represents 7 miles, and there are 35 miles between Yamville and Ashley Island, and so we're trying to find the actual distance in miles between that. So if you take the 1 centimeter, which represents 7 miles, and you set that equal to the 35 centimeters equals x. All right, so for this one, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is you multiply 7 times 35, which gives you 245 miles. Set that equal to x, and so your answer is x equals 245 miles in between Yamville and Ashley Island.
So, let's get it all done, Peter. Ready? Okay. So if you didn't get the previous examples and demonstrations we did, we're going to set a more real-life example for us teenagers as we go through many changes in our hormones. So, as we can see, this is Yamili. She has a wonderful personality. as reflected upon her amazing, voluminous hair. We got one girl as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 boys are surrounding one girl. And you know what that means? That makes a ratio. The ratio from girls to boys here is 1 to 5. And do you remember the other ways to write it? 1 to 5 and 1 to 5. I hope this example touches your heart and you understand that ratios are important for your life.
Catherine the Great is rocking a great ratio.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
One girl to one.
Filming this?
What? Thomas doesn't count.
No, she's just waiting.
Thomas just got here.
Katsie's here. Killing it.
You want to know something else about proportions? Proportions are really important because you gotta have all the proportions.
That's a lot of proportions.
1, 2, 3. Okay, there's no more food.
Why are proportions important?
So, adding on to the importance of proportions in our teenage years is because guys really like the proportions. You see, this proportion is very important. So you gotta know your proportions well so you can get all those guys. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he forgot leg day. He's going to the store to buy some protein. But this is when ratio and proportions become really handy and essential to your life. You need to know about proportions because you need to find the right method. Killed it.